Take a nice deep breath. Let it go. Yeah. The enriching ability of forgiveness. Now, to forgive doesn't mean you take the person back, doesn't mean you do it again, doesn't mean you keep on playing the same game all the time, but what you do is you stop punishing yourself by choosing to feel the emotion of resentment, a grudge, because you're now stopping your divine energy from expressing magnificently in every aspect of your being in this reality and all realities of whatever they are. All you have to do is be in this one, which is you. You are the reality. And everything out there wants to tell you, no, we're the reality up here. Give us your attention. Give us your power over here. Give us your, give us your support over here. Give us over here. Well, yeah, if that is empowering you, that's what you want to give to, is what is empowering you, because it keeps it being there. And yet, what it is, some people have a resentment of, it's not really that, it's a miserliness of, so they don't give to where they're receiving. And what they eventually have to do is make the giver wrong and evil to justify they're not reciprocating, because they don't want to, because of miserliness, which is their belief in scarcity, their acknowledgement of the ignorance of who they are. So they have to live in that domain or that dimension or reality of ignorance. And when we stop that flow, that we stop it with our emotions, we stop it with fear. Fear can immediately stop the immune system. It blocks a person, because people say it's fear of the unknown. Well, it could be fear of the known and the unknown. It could be all of that. It can actually, it's the fear of death, it's the fear of pain, it's the fear of suffering in the future. This is what it's all about. And it's, the mind is set up that way. You have to understand, the mind is set up for you to eventually suffer, because that is an act. You don't need a mind. You might call, you already have divine mind, because you have divine consciousness, that you are all-knowing. You are whole, complete, and perfect as you are, and connected with and part of the divine, beloved Mother, Father, source of all, that are our best friends and well-wishers, always. But you say, the person, we've been taught so often it's not true, and then there's hell, and then there's heaven, and the God's going to decide where you get to go, and how many girls are going to be, or how many guys are going to be. It all come back then to sex again, because that's basically what is the only kind of a physical release sometimes people have from the pain of their own thinking and their own mind, and the fear and the anxiety and the turmoil that they're living under. And it is not about some hope for the future, because you don't have a future. And it's not about going and lamenting the past, because the past is over and done. It's just done. And if you truly don't want to do something anymore, don't do it. People make it really complicated. Well, you got to have to be, get rid of this or get rid of that. No, you just got to know who you are, and then let everything that is not who you are fall away. It's like that story of this man goes into this sculptor's studio, and there's this great big piece of stone, granite, the crystal stone, the granite stone. And he says to the sculptor, what are you going to make? He says, well, I'm going to make the figure of a beautiful woman. And he says, well, how are you going to know what to do? He says, oh, I'll just chip away what isn't part of it, because it's already within the stone, the marble. Yes, within the stone. See? It's already within you. You can't get something you don't already have. And it already has to be a fabric of your nature. Just something I noticed too, is like stones that come from the volcano of Mount Shasta don't grow life forms. They don't grow lichens and things like that, because it's volcanic stone. It's a result of toxins all formulating together and spewing out and that sort of thing. But like here, where you have behind is Castle Crags, and big mountains here that have a different set. They're not volcanic, they're different than many of the stone, not the stones right by the water, because they get washed clean all the time. But you'll see lichen and moss and all this growing on this. And see, it looks like everything's the same, but it isn't. Everything's the same and different. You see, it's both. And it's oneness and separation. It's like, it's the way it is. It's that's our nature is that, and so much more. We are beyond duality. So the prospering power then, the prospering and the enriching power and ability of forgiveness is you unblock the flow so that you can start experiencing the abundance that is flowing through you of ideas, of creativity, of love, of satisfaction, of joy, of creativity, of ideas and solutions and magnificence in every way, because it out here isn't it. The whoever it is you are connected with, you are part of. Therefore, you have all those same qualities in minute quantity. That's just the way it is. Just like a grain of sand here is going to have the same qualities of the stone, and yet they're different, just like milk and yogurt. Milk and yogurt are the same, they come from milk, but they're also different, you see. And butter's different, but it's also from milk, so it's the same and different. And we look at, that's our nature, and in Sanskrit it's called the chincha beta beta tattva. We're inconceivably, simultaneously the same and different. And when we start to get that, we don't let anybody control our thinking. We don't put our stock in the mind and the thoughts and the fears and the doubts and insecurities and all of that sort of thing, because you are having your own world, and your own world can be and is as you choose it to be. And as we do that and we link up with those that desire and in their heart to actually be experiencing the fullness of each of ourselves, as well as others, the fullness of who they are, without obstruction, without and free of the ignorance. Wow, that's worth it all. But it starts with you. You don't have to wait for anyone else. You have it now. So when you forgive, you're back letting yourself have the giving feeling again.